So hey guys, this is PsychoSi Presents, but not the PsychoSi Presents you're used to. This is something new that we're doing. We're going to start doing discussions. A lot of discussions about a lot of different cool, nerdy, bull, caca that's going on. And so yeah, we're going to get to it. And the first discussion that we have on the list, and for anybody who doesn't know who the hell's sitting in here right next to me, come on, this is the Koji. We've been through this. He was here with me in the unboxing video. He's helped me out with a lot of shit behind the scenes. And you're going to see more of them now because we have these discussions going on. But all that stuff is out of the way now. Let's get to discussing stuff. So,
yeah.
Actually, I'm going to be able to like face you, so yeah, that'll work. Like I said, I might have to hold on.
Got to do it all again.
Nah, not really. All right.
Move to the left.
Is that better? Is that better? I think that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be seen more, you can be seen more, everything can be seen more. So, the first discussion that we have on this is actually something involving modding. And
I'm really surprised.
at this point, I don't think anyone will really be, honestly. But we're talking kind of along the lines of, I guess, mutator mods, standalone mods versus total conversion mods. What do you prefer? I know a lot of gamers, and a lot of the gamers that I know don't even really delve into the modding society as much as I have. I mean, I'm a person that for in modding. You've seen it.
Yeah.
I have a whole show based on it. So, and I've run into a plethora of different types of mods that are out there. And there are certain mods that, well, how do I explain it? A total conversion, if you were into modding, you know what modding is. A total conversion is going to kind of just wipe out the whole game and change it into a totally different thing. There are total conversion mods for UT2K4, like one that's called Carball, where it turns it into a completely different game mode, where you're in cars and it's like a soccer game.
Oh.
And it's pretty bugging. But the thing that I don't really like about a total conversion mod is that I feel like you have to have a separate install of the game so that you can still have the regular game and then have this total conversion. And sometimes it doesn't allow for that because certain files are actually, DLL files that'll overwrite each other. But that's the whole reason I want to get into this discussion. Like, what do you guys prefer? Do you think that mods should only be mod types that can be ported into the game, kind of like a DLC, like most of the mods are for Skyrim?
Yeah.
Or do you... what do you think? What do you think?
Me personally, I prefer a mod that, like, it expands on the game that's already there. It adds to it without getting rid of it. I mean, if it's a mod, you want the actual game. If you wanted a different game, you would get a different game. But, like, especially with something like Skyrim, where there's so much room for things like that, like weapon mods or quest mods that change something and add something without losing the sense of why you like the game in the first place. Or your UTK mod, how, like, it changes the entire game. There's nothing left of the game. You have to get, like I said, a different save if possible. What's the point of getting the mod then? You want to mod a game so that you have a semblance of the game you already had. To me, I can even deal with something that's like a huge overhaul of the quest of Skyrim, for instance. Like, completely alters the story mode, completely alters everything you go, but it still has the core game. The things you love about Skyrim are still there. You know. So for me, it depends on what I want out of the mod, how big or how small, but as long as it's a mod to the game and not changing the game.
Sorry,
never please.
Never. I always want to change shit up, and I know it was kind of rude. I'm changing shit up in the middle of them talking, but I think you guys get just. I mean, I get where you're coming from with that. I mean, it really does make sense, though. It kind of, I guess, is a big question of what it is you're going for. I mean, I've seen very ambitious mods that are total conversion mods because they kind of have no choice but to be. For instance, there's this one Dragon Ball Z mod that was coming out for Unreal 2K4. It ended up getting scrapped I don't know what happened to it. I think the mod just died. But it was a Dragon Ball Z mod that had Dragon Ball Z characters, and it kind of the graphics, the way that it looked, kind of like Sagas. I can't believe I'm bringing that game up, but yeah, Sagas. and, I mean, it had an overall concept that actually looked feasible, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know, everything built off the Unreal Engine allowed them to do a lot of cool things. So you get an energy blast hits the ground, you got actual particle physics going on. And I'm like, yeah, that's definitely possible because Unreal has, I mean, look at the capabilities Unreal has been able to fucking do on its own, period. So that was something that I thought that was really interesting. But my problem is if that's really the case, if you're gonna do a total conversion, then that's pretty much you just using the game engine for you to be able to create your own game.
Yeah,
which is
it's fine. I don't mind that at all. I think it's really cool and an expression of creativity. It's just that for my usual preference, I like to get mods that don't completely change the game I play.
Especially when I really find it a problem when you're looking for mods.
Yeah.
Mainly because you'll see something that's really cool and it's like, oh wow, Dragon Ball Z mod. Well, I'm gonna download that, and then you find out that it's gonna completely kill your Skyrim, and you don't have Skyrim anymore. You just have this new Dragon Ball Z game. That's cool, but I want my Skyrim. Like
like another game, Left 4 Dead mods. I love Left 4 Dead mods because they only like their palette swaps or their little graphical fixes or their new maps, but they always have the essence of the game. They're not trying to change Left 4 Dead into something else. That's my personal preference.
It just I guess it really is based on a person's personal preference as a mod user, not really a mod builder. But yeah, if you're a mod builder and I guess it really just depends on what you're going for. If you want to go for your own game, that's real cool. But let people know that you're changing this into a totally different game, and if it's possible, just rip the engine itself.
Yeah,
I think that's a better way to go about it. Rip the engine itself from the game because it's honestly a cheaper route than actually buying the Unreal Engine for the previous generation, PS3, Xbox 360 generation. That program by itself is something like in excess of $1,500 just to attain like a crappy version of it. So I can understand somebody taking Unreal Tournament 3, modding it the fuck up, and doing what they need to do to make their own game. So,
like, I will point out, if you are a modder and you do total conversion mods, power to you. If you can do all that and you want to change it and express your creativity and make the game you want to make because you have this base system and you think it works well, that's awesome. I'm not at all saying that total conversion mods are an issue in general. I just personally like to have some of the game.
So I think we're kind of going in circles in this conversation at this point, but we pretty much get the gist of what we're trying to say here. And I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments and stuff. Like, what is it? What's your take on it? Because I mean, modding is a huge thing now. Modding is such a huge thing now that how many modding shows have just for Skyrim alone?
Seriously.
There's MXR. There's that other dude from Australia. I don't even know his name. There's Machinima that do their own Skyrim mods weekly. I don't know if they've continued that or not. And of course, there's my show, which just shows you game mods, period, of any game at all, period, or whatever the hell I feel like. I'm Psycho. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I'd like to know what you guys think, and where is your stance? Do you like total conversion mods? Do you think that they're more ambitious, and because they're more ambitious, you feel like they're better mods, or are you more for a game changing mod in the sense of you're playing Fallout and you have like a Skyrim sword in Fallout, or you get the fucking Destiny blade from Kingdom Hearts, the X blade, and you put that in Skyrim as a weapon or some shit like that, and I mean, that does bring up a whole nother ball out of wax when you start talking about like piracy and shit from other games. And there's a few mods that were actually, the ogres from Dragon Age were actually a mod on the Nexus for a little bit for Skyrim.
Yeah.
But they're literally from another game, and knowing EA's tactics, and we're going to get to them, knowing EA's tactics and the way that they are about everything, legally they were like not going to allow that. So it ended up getting pulled out of the Nexus. And that's when piracy gets into there. And if that's your only purpose for modding is just to bring in something from another game, then I don't know if I could really say that it's not cool, because I am guilty of foraying into those mods myself
Yeah.
and using those mods, I would love to have had the ogres and fucking come on, that would just been serious,
Yeah.
awesome. But I do understand where the legal issues come, and I really do believe that like if you're a modder, you're trying to get your own personal content out there, something that you've worked on in specific, and honestly, those mods are usually the ones that end up the best. I mean, if you look at Skyrim, once again, I use Skyrim as a big example because there's so many mods that are out for Skyrim. The Vampire Lord mod that came out that is actually featured as the main kind of purpose in Dawnguard came from a modder, and that mod was basically started in development before the toolkit was even released. And then once the toolkit was released, they started to expound on it and do so many crazy things with it. Bethesda liked it so much, Dawnguard happened. And that's a big thing. That's really big. That means that modders can actually change the way that, people look at and develop a game. And I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't want their heads to get so big that they're gonna just every time a game comes out, all right, we love this engine, we're gonna make a game out of this engine that's completely not this game.
Yeah.
It's a freaking FPS and you turn it into a platform Qbert game. Why?
Platform
Like
first person Qbert.
It's cool, it works, it's whatever, but that's just my opinion on it, and there's a lot of room to discuss there.
Yeah.
Just let me know what you think, and yeah. We're gonna move on to the next topic now.
All right.